if we can just keep Tony in that, in 5 minutes he will pass out.
Yeah.
Let's try.
So what's the temperature? Isn't it? I just checked. In London, it says 27 degrees.
Is it? Not in this house.
Frank, you might want to change your name.
Well, I currently literally just have a black screen. I can't do anything. I don't know what's going on. Like I clicked go and my screen's gone black again. So I'm just flying blind here. So you'll have to do something.
Hang on. Oh,
it's ridiculously hot.
Yeah. It's basically my computer is so hot the graphics card has decided it doesn't want the graphics anymore. So I occasionally get a flash of an image, and that's about it.
hello and welcome to Let's Drone Out. Another episode is upon you. Tonight we are joined by everyone's favourite curry kitten.
What's the dramatic pause with?
Well, I wondered if you were going to
Hello.
go everyone's favourite and then no, I'm talking about you. And go, I'm curry
It could be anybody. Everyone's favourite sound engineer, Blue Owl. Everyone's favourite manager in charge,
today?
Frank. Everyone's favourite person from Scotland, Eris. It could be either of us. Who knows?
My darling wife.
Bonjour.
Oh.
I wish you were my wife, but that's never going to happen. Our Lord and Master, Andrew / Frank.
Hello.
The most northerner, so north he's not even in the northern of England, Aries.
Good evening, how are we doing?
And the beautiful, talented, and fantastic sound engineer, Blue Owl.
Hello, welcome again.
And
Just got a donation.
I am old as.
Don't say it.
Old.
Yeah,
and
we've been
I'm bright until I
wondering how
fly.
old.
I'm so
Happy
old.
birthday, Jack.
How
Thank
old
you.
are
Happy
you?
birthday, mate.
How old do you think? Well, you just ask Frank because Frank's like knows everything. He's probably
He
hacked
didn't know.
into.
I said, how
Do you
old
not
is he?
know how old I
I don't know. I think he's. I said 39, but I think it's 38.
I thought it was
I'm not-
quite a few less than that. But
Yeah, it is a few less than that. I think.
35.
I am 35.
He's just
Yeah.
had a really rough life. That's why he looks so much older.
Yeah, I know. all those years on the toilet.
They add up, don't they?
That's a
Taking
bit of a crap
toll.
joke there, Jack.
Yeah, I know. It's a donation from Aries. Thank you very much.
It wasn't. It was
Zero.
Zero.
Oh, is it 0? Oh,
Yeah,
I should read stuff properly.
Yeah.
should.
I'm sorry, 0. Best mod in the chat, 0. Thank you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. And I need to turn these the other way round. When did you take the photo of me with the sunglasses on?
I love the way that makes you jump.
I know.
Every
Hey,
time.
thank you.
I wasn't expecting that.
that's
I
an
know.
image from today, Jack. Just so you know.
Oh, is that the video I sent? Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
0. Oh. Look at that.
Just every donation makes his life that bit shorter. Every
I
time he
know.
lies. How old are you
Yeah.
now, Jack? Oh, 46.
I know,
I'm
we've-
nearly dead.
Let's see if we can burn 35 of them in one show.
What, tonight? Have you
Do
got
you even have
35?
35?
I was gonna
I
say.
have it. I have. Down. 2.
Well, 33 now.
I can't remember how big the boxes are that I get sent to yours.
Hang on. 2, 4,
It's literally counting them.
8. Oh shit! We haven't got 35.
No.
We got 20 odd.
Did your Hobby
No.
RC package turn up today, Jack?
No. And what's
Oh.
this about? I am deeply terrified.
You've got that to look forward to tomorrow, hopefully.
What's going on? Why is there a part of it and I'm not allowed to open it or it'll mess it up? Also, nice clean flight shirt.
Thank you very much.
I didn't even realise.
You can't
So-
see it for that diffuser.
Oh yeah, there you go. Maybe
Oh, yeah,
down
there we
Yield.
So I've got the FPV combat system being sent to you.
Frank.
But there's also
Oh, that was cute.
Yeah.
but also there's a new
Down clip that, Pete.
kind of board that is going to be sent from like Hobby RC. Don't have it yet because it's not been released yet.
Okay.
It's a pre-release thing that I've also got you.
Okay.
But it's a bit sensitive apparently, and if you don't wire it out the right way, it everything will be on fire. So wait
that is
until
the
we've got
first
all the
rule.
instructions. Yeah.
Speaking of wiring, Digby Dan thought it'd be funny to put a bit of tape over this. Hang on. So this is a push button. So what he's done is he's put a bit of tape over it so it holds the push button, and this constantly sang happy birthday and decided to throw it in my room somewhere. And this is what happens when I let people in. They're like, haha, this will be funny. This will keep them entertained for hours. It's like giving your dog one of those dog chew toys where you poke the bits of food in. They got to roll it around to get the food out.
Hours of fun.
I know. Hence why, little bastards. The lot of you. And you, Tony. Thank you very much for the card, by the way.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I didn't like the envelope very much. So there'll be a video of me shredding that later. Aries, how have you been, my friend?
Busier than a mother. Yeah.
What have you been up to?
I've seen him flying and tenting.
I've seen him in
Yeah.
an LDO hoodie as well. Did Blue Owl leave because she knows that I'm going to be like, so how have you been, Blue Owl? I haven't seen you for a while.
It's like, nope.
I could just sense that a question was coming, so I left. I've been good. I've been busy, just enjoying summer. Not as hot as in England, apparently. My computer is still empty.
It's been
Have
Have
chuffing.
you done any flying
So,
since last time?
No, unfortunately I haven't, but I kind of accepted that since moving to the big city, there is probably not much space in my life for FPV at the moment, so I'll patiently wait to either move somewhere else or just find another way. But
Well,
I was
you move
thinking
every
about
2
it
years,
today.
don't you?
Exactly, so it's not going to be long until I move again, right? But yeah, it's all about people and having good spots to fly. And since I moved, I don't have any of these, so it's going to take a bit more time and work to work it out. But I'll get there at some point. I'm just afraid that, I haven't been flying for so many months now. All of my gear is getting really outdated. So I'm either going to replace it all or I'm just going to be laughed at for flying such an old gear. It was already old before I stopped flying. And now it's just getting all rusty. And
Just tell them you're one of the pioneers.
yeah, sure. Yeah, they will totally believe it.
Yeah.
So I've got a bit of a long-winded story.
Hold on, we haven't heard from Steve Aries, who was just about to tell us what he's been doing.
Yeah, Aries, no, seriously. What have you been up to?
Busy with normal life and doing some wild camping trips and things like that. Just up and down the coast with family and
Flying.
flying. Yeah, which just a quick heads up. I've been testing not lipos but Lion cell batteries for quads. and you know that 3 to 5 minute flight time that usual people get with lipos. I'm trying to breach 15, 16 minutes with a Lion pack just to get
What, on and 5-inch or a long range or a
6-inch. So
6
I'm currently
inch?
testing it with the Project 399 Stees. And what I'm actually using right now is early days testing, but it's this guy here. Don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I think-
Yes. Full
I think
send, long range.
Martin's got some of them.
3,000 milliamp hour battery.
Yeah, so this is a 300 gram pack. Okay, with I think it's a burst of 20 amp output, so it's not for like mental freestyle stuff. It's more cruising, that type of scenario. So I did a test a couple of weeks back at my local park. The circumference of the park is about 0.78 of a kilometer. Ended up being 17 laps at about 13.08 kilometers before the pack was done.
What is it? 6S 3000?
Yeah, 6S 3000.
I need to buy one, and then they're about 50 quid, aren't they?
Yeah, $55. Yeah,
$55. Yeah, I think Martin was getting 15, 16 minutes on his. He put two together and got a flight on for over a half hour.
yeah, definitely. I mean, to put it in context, right? I was using. Is this the right way around? Hold on. It's a Turnigy Graphene 6S 3 amp hour pack thing. 607 grams.
So you could have two of them for that.
Yeah, 6,000. Yeah,
longer flight time.
I could have 6,000 milliamp hours for the same weight. You know, longer flight times and stuff like that, and the voltage doesn't sag on them too bad either. You know, with lipos, as soon as you take off, you go from like 25.2 down to 23 something in the space of a few seconds. But no, that Lion pack just it had me feeling some kind of way. I'm like, okay.
What can you take them down to? Because it's like 21, isn't it? You normally sort of come in and land at with a lipo.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you can take them lower, can't you?
Yes, you can. 2.82 volts per cell.
So what's that in?
You're looking at about
16. 16. You can take it down to 16
17 volts. Yeah.
Wow.
The pack does get a little warm, but you know, I wasn't hauling ass or anything like that. I was doing about 40, 50 kilometers an hour. It's pretty decent for what it is. I mean, there's a company in the States, Lion RC. I don't know if you've heard of them or not, but they do higher amp output Lion packs specifically for longer flight times. But they're having trouble shipping to the UK.
Yes.
So it's a bit of a pain.
Everyone.
Yeah.
What's
Exactly.
the like charging like? Like, do you have? I mean, I guess there's a separate program and everything in the charger, but like, do you have to have a reduced C for charging or something? Or like, I'm just trying to work out what's the catch. I feel like there must be a catch. Can't just have some free less weight.
Isn't the catch that you can pull less amps generally? So if you want to go mental, like let's full throttle all the time, you can't.
Yes, exactly. So if you're pulling out of a dive, for instance, you're not going to be able to do that with this battery, unless you've got a lightweight quad, obviously. But typical quote unquote long range quads are around the 600 to 900 gram range. Really, you're not going to be able to lift or pull yourself out of a dive using that battery. But you know, it's early days, isn't it? You know, get some higher output packs in the mix, and you know, competitors to lipos to a certain degree.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing you'd want it on a long range. You wouldn't want to stick it on a 5-inch. I'll get bored after 3.5 minutes of poodling around and doing stuff on my 5-inch anyway. So,
but that's the thing, you know, where I live and where I have access to. There's a lot of different features you can get yourself out to and back to and explore in and around the places. So it works for me. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing lately. Not really been posting videos much, but it's getting out, flying where I can, and trying to live life and stay COVID free. Woo!
That's the mission.
I've been trying to buy a blackout mini quad off someone, and it's going horribly, not very well.
An OG blackout. Christ.
Yeah, I know.
That is an OG.
Yeah. Those are like rocking horse dumplings.
Is it? Obviously, it's a made one. It's not like some pack.
There's a made one and there's an unmade one.
What?
And I'm like,
There's an unmade one?
Yeah, just sell me it. Like, I just want to make a video about it and be like, this is what we used to fly. Plastic standoffs. So you'd crash and your quad would stay one end and your battery would, and everything else would disappear. And,
I feel like an unmade blackout quad is going to be like the Tamiya cars, where 50 years later they're now worth like thousands of pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
If you're watching this, they're not worth thousands of pounds. Just sell it to Frank, please. To Jack, please.
No,
they're worth about 50p at the moment.
Yeah, I know. Well, they are. I mean, like all the carbon's thin as anything, and like one of your bottom plates is a whole PDB with plastic standoffs. Like who's gonna really want one? Who's gonna want to fly one? I mean, I feel mentally ill, like being like, look, sell me this, because whoever you're gonna sell it to is just gonna throw it in the bin.
Are we gonna have like some kind of retro fly-in with like you with the blackout quads, Lurgy with that wooden bladed tricopter.
Tony with
the
his
QAV, man.
QAV 250.
Oh my god!
First ever quad.
I got the ZMR up there. I got the old tricopter out of there, made with
That'd be a good video,
bits of wood.
Fly your old stuff.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Like, is just sort of it's even got Cobra motors on it. I was like, it's going to run 3S as well.
These are Cobra, I think.
Are they?
No, I don't think they are. They're Sunny Sky. Even better.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Sunny Sky. Jesus. Before Cobra. Tony, you're so old. Man.
That got me flying, that quad.
So I went out flying, and before you ask, I've got a suntan today. I got sunburn, and I flew 4 packs.
Hey!
Oh,
look
Jesus.
at that! Look at that! I know, I look like Andy RC at Western Park.
I think you're confusing the word suntan with sunburn. Just to clarify that.
I know. If you want to know, my arms look like they belong to Quag. Is it? No. What's his name? Zoidberg. That's it. I messed up. Yeah, I messed up this quad, and it took off full throttle and span round. I disarmed mid-air, and it slowly floated down like that, and I don't know what the hell I done.
Was this where you're going to say something like it fail-safe, like last time when you flew backwards into the hill?
No, this is completely my fault. This is user error. There's some sort of settings. I think I've got the motor order wrong or something, because it's
must
not
be
one.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, like I reckon.
The FC pointing backwards.
Surely you checked that on the bench, because you would have had to go around and said which way is motor 1 spinning, which way is motor 2 spinning.
I know what I'm doing. So yeah, just what a bell end.
I'd be like that.
I nearly killed myself. I know, 4 packs. Jesus, calm down. I know. Thanks, Ben. Guys, thank you so much. Has no one told you about Factor 50? The worst part is I've got that little orange bit that's poking out of my bags on the screen. I just didn't want to be sticky.
What's this? Did you not see that massive thing in the sky that everyone's been saying? It's so hot, my air comes on and whatnot.
No,
fans everywhere. It's even hot in Scotland, right, Steve?
Yeah, we clocked 31.2 yesterday.
Wow.
Is it flooded because all the snow's melted off the mountains?
Not quite.
Is that how it works?
No,
you got
not
like
quite.
quarry overflowing quarry lakes and stuff. That's how I imagine.
No, it's not like that.
I just,
yeah, it's hotter than usual. Let's be fair.
It's been too hot. I've actually come home from work because it's too hot. I normally
too
come
hot
home
to
from
work.
It's...
Why are you like spraying the windows and they've been shattering because it's cold water?
I just getting too hot, mate. You know, I come home when it's too cold, and now I've been coming home when it's too hot.
That's when you know it's time to retire, Tony. That's when you know.
I've been playing with the laser cutter. Unfortunately, no air conditioning, so it still gets pretty toasty in there as well. But
I'm so excited.
Can you
show them the motor mount?
The motor mount is now attached to the plane. So...
Get it out. Come on, Frank. Go and get it.
Go get it.
Or smash the place up. Either one.
Yeah.
Either one will work.
What's happening?
Good luck. Yeah, he's knocked his screen out. Blue Owl, is Frank more useful to you now he has a laser cutter? Is it why you've come back? Because you've heard talks of a laser cutter?
No, I came back for you because I knew it was your birthday.
Oh, thank you. I've missed you. Look at that. He is.
What are we looking at?
So at the bottom of the motor,
I have the same question.
No, that bit.
bit
Yeah. So below the motor, there's like a little round, bit of ply with like.
Someone make it big.
Screws.
Jack, make him big.
Yep. Hang on 2 seconds. So you've got the 4 screws holding that little ring, and then the back of the motor you've got these little legs that go up, and then you've got the back of the motor, and that's screwed in, and that's your little wooden motor mount, I believe.
So spent about 10 grand to make a £3 plane fly again. Well done.
Even better than that. that plane was being disposed of, so it was effectively free.
See, he's Captain Planet. He's recycled by the use of a 10 grand laser cutter that's, ozone, burning a hole in the ozone.
Have you worked out if you can put LDO on my hand yet?
Would you do that? Because I'd rather just
LDO through your hand.
I
specifically had to agree with the guy who commissioned it to not let anyone stick their hand in it because he had to disable the interlock. So if you want to do it, now's the time to do it because it will do it. Whereas in a few weeks' time, when they come out with the right parts to put the interlock back, it won't laze your hand anymore.
Okay, well, you might have to go over and do some.
What does the interlock do exactly? Make sure
the interlock means that when the cover is closed, the laser will fire, but when the cover is open, the laser won't fire.
Okay, cool.
This sounds a bit like the disc swap trick with the PS2, where you can hold the thing down for the sensor and take the disc out.
For a start, it's a PS1.
Then we put Tony's hand in.
Because the PS2 was a draw. God,
not the PS2 Slim.
Yeah, true.
Boom.
Sorry, Dad. I know, innit?
In some kind of good news, I thought it's probably best to let people know in advance. LDO no, looking promising. I'm waiting for final confirmation from basically some neighbours to make sure that they're not going to throw a hissy fit. But it's looking like we've got a venue, got a date potentially. But when I've got confirmation, I will put it out on Patreon first. We're going to be limited probably to 18 people. We'll put it out to Patreon first. And that's including like us as hosts. So it will be limited numbers. So if you want to definitely make sure that you can come to LDO now, maybe sign up to Patreon.
Well done, Frank. I like that. Very, very well done.
Yeah.
I know. I've got to say a massive thank you to anyone who's donated for the charity link I put up on Facebook. Thank you.
How much is your charitable thing gone now yet?
I don't know. It means
It's
looking at it.
190 or something.
No
it
way,
exceeded
is
the
it?
target.
Yeah.
I saw that it
Right.
exceeded the target.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. I know. I'm shocked. I never thought that would ever happen. I am truly blown away and touched. Like, thank you. There is some lovely people out there, and for some reason they like to torture themselves by listening to this show.
We're all here for you.
Thank you, Thank you so much. Oh look, the little plasma grapes. Yeah, you should laser some grapes, Frank. And I don't mean Tony Stidley's either.
Wait,
We got to make sure he doesn't breed. Laser them.
Nah, I think Tony's too old for that Rugrats running around now. He's done his time.
He's
I
skipping
can
farm. He goes
probably
straight for
outrun
granddad.
you, outwalk you, anything you, all of you lot, I reckon.
Come back when you can
Right.
outshit me,
Everything.
because good luck trying to do that.
You'll win hands down with that one, mate.
What
Exactly.
about reaching up high? We can all beat you at that.
No, you can't. I've got a
Well,
fucking
not
big
laying
ladder
down.
and a massive long pole. Thank you very much.
Yes, but just getting up to a high shelf without assistance.
Get the dog on my shoulders.
I know. I actually phoned Dom D1 and was like, and requested a cake and ting because he said he's not doing them anymore. So I actually phoned him up and was like, please,
Please do me a cake and ting. He quit doing that.
I know.
Is there
Oh,
is
thank
there
you.
any
Do you want to do the disclaimer and talk about the controversial news? Because I've got no idea about it.
I don't really know about it. I just saw a bot grinder post for about 2 seconds slating something to do with Cine Whoops.
Any
Go
views
on.
expressed by any guests on this show are personal and may not reflect the views of others, especially when we talk about guests that aren't actually guests and we're just reporting hearsay, which is the bot grinder news. And I had the Instagram link up here somewhere.
Have you still got
Was-
it?
I
Yes.
think I know what this is. This is about
Yeah.
those Drone Co. slam squirt ducts that Rotor
Yeah,
Riot are
that's-
now reselling.
That is absolutely right. Now, the way it
What are
reads
they?
is some independent guy has come up with these. Is it basically low profile?
Yeah, so a buddy of mine,
rings.
Chris Teal, started his own
the prop
company.
guards.
Yeah. Chris Teal came up with a slammed version of the full-size squirt ducts, so you could drop your stack down, make your Cine Whoop as small and compact as possible. And he commissioned those with the help of Mr. Shen. Andy Shen, that's the one.
Yeah.
And he's been selling that as part of his Drone Co. Productions company that he does lots of 3D printing for, and he makes those slam squirts, as part of his business. And then it appears that Rotor Riot jumped on that bandwagon, and apparently they're reselling similar ducts for their Cine Whoops. So there's a big hoo-ha all over social feeds and stuff about that.
Yeah, so
Oh,
Bot Grinder wrote that, "Hey, y'all, my homie Drone Co. Productions has a one-man team trying to live his dream, and the slime balls over at Rotor Riot, his world's not mine, just jacked this whole thing, low pro duck. So if you want low pro Cine Whoop stuff, please get it from the greater Drone Co. and not these half-assed rip-offs from scumbags. Rotor Riot, you should be flipping ashamed of yourselves." Or something like that. Stealing his designs like this. This is a new low even for y'all.
I
Take
love
that.
Bot Grinder. He's so amusing and entertaining.
Yeah, agreed. So I think we should get him back on again soon.
Yeah, but he ignores me.
Well, it's your
Doesn't
birthday.
usually stop you, does it?
Might not now.
We ignore you. You still keep talking to us.
Yeah.
Aw. Thanks, guys.
See, you ignoring us now because you're saying thanks to us slagging you off.
I know that was me being facetious and upset.
Jack always ignores us. There's not a time goes by when Jack's not fiddling with something on his desk while we're trying to have a conversation with him. Except
my
for now,
penis.
it would seem.
Idle hands there, Jack. Idle
I
hands.
know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure soldering iron is just a euphemism.
Oh, I've got a bloody hot tip.
I need something to do with it. I shouldn't continue this.
No.
Sorry,
territory.
What about the rest of us? Why can't you apologise to the rest of us?
Yeah.
Because you're all, I know what all of you are like. Maybe Aries is a good boy, though. He's got like a family and stuff. And he's like a natural bear that like runs around in Scotland in the woods. That's how I view him.
I heard some Scottish drone news this week.
Oh, is this about Jupiter?
Of a police officer who was worried about a drone following her as she was driving down the motorway, and she rang up the sort of headquarters, and they told her to go in, and they'd have like people waiting, and they realized that and this dot in the sky that'd been following her all down the motorway was in fact just Jupiter.
That is somewhat astounding, because Jupiter is a huge gas giant, but in the sky, it's not awfully big. It just looks like kind of that's like a bright looking star, but it's like a planet. But
it's almost stationary. It's following me.
It doesn't usually. You don't look at it and say, "Yeah, that's definitely following me." It's been in the same position all the way.
Maybe it was this time. Maybe it was following her.
Maybe it was.
That's mad.
If only you still worked at CERN, Blue Owl, I feel you'd have the some scientific contacts that could help us get to the bottom of, does Jupiter occasionally chase police officers in Scotland?
Yeah,
we can answer this question properly.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely find these people somewhere on Facebook, and I'm just not sure you want to ask these questions because it's not going to be a quick
I suppose
answer.
the only good thing about that is I half expected something like a youth has been arrested as the follow-up story, as opposed from the other coppers came out and said, "No, that's Jupiter, my love."
I actually can't believe this happened.
I can. These are the people that are going to enforce the laws on us. This is the scary
I can't
thing.
speak for every Scots person.
But
there are a few short brain cells up here.
Oh my god.
Can we read the disclaimer again, please?
I mean, there was also a little bit of Gatwick news recently, following up from 2018. Remember the Gatwick incident
Is
at
there still
Christmas?
reward money? Because I might just like
Tony.
Yeah, and then split off with him, man. It's the only thing to do. All right, 60-40.
Here's a culprit. Here we go.
Yeah, well,
a drone that wasn't even made back then. Yep, that's believable.
That's how this works. It was a time traveling drone, just to add to the confusion.
That's how it could fly for an hour.
Yeah. But there was Ian Hudson, who's on the internet as UAV Hive. He's been doing a lot of work over the past few years, particularly on Gatwick, but in other places as well. And he's been putting in a load of freedom of information requests. So saying, can you release any information that meets this criteria? And it's the sort of thing, it's a bit like talking to a computer. You give it a question and it will give you an answer, and the answer might just be no, but not tell you what you need to do to actually get some more useful information. So it's a bit of a time intensive, quite tedious exercise. So he's been doing a lot of legwork on that, and he's basically got to the point where He's got them to say, CIA and everyone else. No, at no point have we ever had a description of the drone. We haven't had any images of the drone. Like
There was no drone.
I mean, that's his conclusion, but he's got them to go through and say at no point have we had a description of the drone officially on record. So that's
This sounds like something me and Curry Kitten play, a shit text word adventure game where
you're not typing in the right thing.
Yeah, you
what's
type
this
in
drone
the right
you speak of?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Teen Agent and the Wizard one, whatever that was. It's very much like that from what I can tell.
Pick up drone.
So
what's a drone? No.
What I'm interested to know then, I don't know if this came out of the Freedom of Information Act, because the only problem with that is you have to pay money, don't you? Every time you ask for information, you have to sort of pay for when they some admin fee. I don't know,
It's like
but
a
it's
couple
not,
of quid, isn't it?
I don't think it's free.
I mean,
But
it
if you
depends
keep
how much
asking the
time
question
they
over and over.
put into it.
Guess so.
If you ask them
What
to put in lots
happened?
of time,
Because
it costs more.
at the time, it kept saying the police were inundated with over several hundred calls, and then it's something like we viewed at least 100 and something of these as credible. I don't know how credible works. So you'd think if it was a credible, I hate air quotes, description of a drone, then they'd have a description of a drone, not just I saw a drone. Can you describe the drone?
Happened.
No.
It was a clear night and Jupiter was out.
It wasn't. It was raining.
That's true. It was
raining and dark because it was the middle of winter in the UK. Well, that was the other thing Ian's done is put together sort of the timelines that all the reports have been released, because they did also release a quite heavily redacted report of the Gatwick incident a few weeks ago, and he's put sort of the timelines together from that, along with sort of the photos that were in the newspapers and the times that they were taken and all this kind of thing. And basically, when there was a police helicopter in the sky, there were more drone reports. Maybe the two are connected, especially when some of the photos that were published in the newspapers were clearly of, you can see it's the police helicopter with a bright red light on, and you can just see the sort of yellow outline of where the cockpit is.
Because I remember that helicopter that the guy said, I know what drones are like. I'm an expert at this, and I can say that's definitely a drone. And Frank, you could see quite clearly on the flight report that was a helicopter hovering exactly above where he was saying that was a drone.
Yeah, that wasn't Gatwick. That was Heathrow about 3 weeks later. But yes, that was definitely on ADSB. You could see there was the police helicopter exactly where he said he saw a drone.
And he knows what a drone looks like because he's an expert.
Exactly.
I think, paraphrasing his own words there.
Specialist. Real special.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Special
it's
was
just
in
kind of
Sunshine Bus.
interesting to see that people are still sort of working on that and dragging information out, and not that there's a lot of information there to start with, but still just kind of pulling it apart even more.
Yeah, if you remember back to when it happened, right? You had like your airline union strikes and stuff happening at that point.
Yeah.
So there's heavy speculation around, someone causing panic just to mess all that up as well. I remember Tony was out in his van with his fat sharks.
and
a controller in his hand.
I think
I never seen that.
Going. This. I think I've lost my train of thought now. Shut up.
Tony was scanning the
Dementia. You ready, Frank?
Tony knows the game's up. He's got scared now. He's like, "Shit! How do I cover this up?"
Was it the hostile takeovers? Was it the strikes?
Was
it the expert?
I think
was it you on top of the...
France sold the airport 2 days later to America.
Yeah. Something
so it could have been something to do with that, So I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know.
What happened to the dementia splash screen? Did it get taken over with the Patreon one?
Oh no, it's still there. It's just that at the time I had about 5 seconds
10
of
tabs
complete black
open.
screen, so I couldn't do anything.
Frank's graphics card is overheating. He
Yeah.
can't actually see anything.
My phone was overheating the other day. It was just shouting at me, just like, this phone is overheating. Some features will no longer be available. I'm like, okay. It's definitely
mine decided
definitely
to
hot.
do that whilst I was doing a 3-point turn in Worthing, and it was playing NWA "Fuck the Police" very loudly in my car. And
Good.
because obviously I put my phone on the dash, and obviously the heat's been blaring at it, and it sort of like totally crashed, and was just playing NWA really loudly. So
Naughty Jack.
I felt pretty street.
I think I managed to overheat my Mavic Mini when flying in the US with it, not too far
Really?
outside Death Valley, which would give you an impression that it might be warm. Well, it was just the fact I was looking at it, and then suddenly it's like I'm starting to get these flashes of the screen distorting and starting to look weird, and it all starts going a bit wrong. So I had to land, and then I felt it, and it burnt me. So I figured it might be a bit hot now.
Oh,
So
dear.
watch
I
out.
only had it
flying in
happen
the heat.
once to a phone, and I literally just put it under water in a stream, and it was all right.
It's all right. It was
So
caught with dry drone. It was good.
Fine.
Yeah, you
only
watch out,
really-
phone, if you ever get too cold. See how you're like a direct heat applied with a lighter.
Yeah. Pours
What about
petrol
like
over it, likes
normal like FPV? I mean, I've seen like Trappy fly in the desert and stuff. Like, how do lipos deal with extreme heat when they don't have
Lipos
a?
quite like being warm, don't they?
I was going to say, yeah, they like
Yeah,
it warm.
they
I don't know
perform
about
better.
hot.
I was concerned. I was testing out some quite high-powered VTXs one day, and I was in like hot, not really hot weather, like 25, 26 degrees. But if you've got like a 1 watt VTX, I'm thinking this is going to be bad. But as soon as you're flying it around, it's getting enough air over it. It came down, and it wasn't, anything above ambient.
Yeah,
I think some of the problem with like DJI products, they're all enclosed, aren't they? There's not much airflow going in.
Well, you got a little fan in them. They're actively cooled.
They don't work very well.
What were you saying, Aries?
I was just saying a lot of the high power VTXs, they come with heat sinks and stuff like that, so
Indeed.
they aid with dissipation of heat.
Indeed.
Yeah, my people, they fly in Africa and all these hot places. Apparently,
course.
flying is good, staying on the ground is not. So even if you're waiting for whatever the GPS signal for a couple of minutes, it can overheat. So you just gotta stay in the shadow or fly, which is good.
Yeah, hover, fly around a bit, wait for the GPS, and then go.
No calibrating compasses for them.
No DJI dance.
Just have to do it quick. It looks like they just go.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Frank,
So
Sorry,
I was going to say, are we allowed to talk about commercial space flight? Because that's been big this week, isn't it?
It has been quite big. Was there any there was a drone film in it, so yes. Go ahead.
All I noticed is my daughter came in and said, "This is the rocket that Jeff Bezos is," and it looks like a penis. That's what she told me, and I had to agree. That does look very much like a phallic.
She's definitely your daughter.
She notices things.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thanks, C.
Scott Manley did explain why it was that shape. He has put an explanation together. It does make sense.
What's the explanation?
Vaginas aren't as aerodynamic.
It's because it's a suborbital flight, so you end up with sort of the aerodynamics are slightly different from a normal rocket, and sort of the flight characteristics that it's having mean that it's better to be kind of a slightly shorter, stubbier, and the demand of the space for like the interior volume versus the aerodynamics means that is the shape it ends up as. and it's
That's
not
exactly what you're going to tell the missus, isn't it?
No black hole for him.
So, does it explain why it's got a bell end exactly?
That was the aerodynamics
that popped
thing.
off the top of it, right? That's where the you can't call them
where the action
seamen.
happens.
The astronauts. That's where they were.
I'm so
Yes.
sorry. Good luck editing this one, editor. Can we?
But what, the Wally of the Mercury 13 got to fly finally into space. That's
what
good.
a brilliant woman she is. What a
Yeah.
cool name as well, Wally Funk, man. That is
That's
such
an
a cool
awesome
name. I know.
She's
And
what,
she,
85, 87 years old?
Yeah, and she beat. Well, they always say astronauts are better than being a woman than a man because they're lighter most of the time, and she actually beat. What's the guy's name who went up and shouldn't have? Is it Glenn?
Where's that dementia card again?
Anyway, she
Glenn
beat him in the
Dementia.
60s. She should have gone, but they didn't want women to go. So I think
There
Glenn
was
Shepherd went instead of her. I think, is that right?
So that was the Mercury
Butchered all
13.
of that.
So Wally and a few of the other kind of aviators, like female aviators at the time, kind of basically got one of the NASA scientists who was doing the kind of aptitude tests. So they basically paid him to do the aptitude tests for 13 women, and they basically went through it and got better marks than any of the male astronauts. But they weren't official test pilots. But at the time, that was basically pointless anyway because they hadn't decided that they needed to be test pilots. But that was kind of what was said at the time was the reason why none of the women got the opportunity to become astronauts.
She was far better qualified than him. All the tests she'd done, she beat him. Everything. So
there is a good Netflix series on it. On that whole
Really?
thing. Yep.
Yeah. It's
Mercury
pretty
13.
Yep.
Good.
I'd like to just.
Who else has been out flying?
I've charged some batteries. I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm mountain biking. I've been mountain biking the last 3 Fridays in a row, and I've got some friends that I've been going with. So they want to be videoed going down a certain trail tomorrow. So I'm going to take a couple of quads and follow them. I'm going to probably bike as well, and then come back and then film them. So I will be flying at some point tomorrow.
How about a challenge while you're there, Tony? Are you ready for your challenge? You're on your bike. You put your goggles on. You're holding your radio. You fly behind yourself, and you can do it's third-person biking. Basically, you can watch yourself whilst flying, so you know which way to go.
Oh my god! So you want me to do no-handed cycling?
It's not no-handed because you can just rest on your bars. That's fine. You only need your thumbs.
You can get those elbow pad things. You can just sit and get your
you have triathlon bars. That's it, exactly.
Those ones. I
I'm not a racer. It's a mountain bike. I see where you're coming from, but no, I'll probably violently sick straight away.
That's worth it just for the video.
I did it on top of a car in America. I sat on the back of the guy's back of his MX-5 in America, and he drove around and I flew, and I literally hurled. It was disgusting, and I've done it in a drift car as well, and I couldn't do it. I was just like, pull up, stop immediately. I cannot do this. It's absolutely horrible.
We did it with fixed wing. Me and a friend, we took it in turns to drive, and the other one flew, and it was good fun. Apart from the fact I went wrong on a turn. And he's like, "That's not the car you're following. You need to go down the other road." At one point,
fixed wing will probably be all right. Better than a quad, I should think.
It's a bit bouncier, but it's you can cruise a little bit more, go a bit higher.
Oh man, the thermals. We saw I don't know, buzzard, kestrel, bird of prey, riding
Probably
thermals.
a buzzard, red kite, maybe a kite.
Didn't have the funky tail feather thing for that. Is that right?
The kestrel's quite small, and they
don't know.
don't generally slope soar.
Apparently,
Or-
there's a real, for people that see these big birds of prey and think they're red kites, it is all about the tail. It's something like, if it's like a triangular tail, I think it's the kite. But if it's like a curved tail, which looks almost exactly the same, other than that, it's like some sort of buzzard. But they almost look the same. They've got the red flanks and stuff. Because I always thought I was seeing red kites down here, and apparently it was a buzzard.
They've been reintroduced.
Jackdaw and a crow is different or something. Blackbird.
Yeah.
I don't know. One's got green eyes, one hasn't.
Yeah, jackdaw have bluey green eyes and a little bit smaller, more intelligent. Okay. Normally go in your roof and around your chimney.
See, I can imagine Tony in fucking nature.
I'm a little bit of a twitcher.
Yeah, a little twitcher in the old bush. You know what I mean?
With my book, ticking them off. Robin.
How was it fun?
Blue owl.
Grumpy in the chat has been just talking about he's doing some power scale slope soaring. If you've ever seen any of this,
what
where
is
they
that?
take
power scale.
Power scale slope soaring is where you take a model of a powered aircraft, but you don't put an engine in it, you just glide it. But because as long as you balance out the CG, it will glide to some degree. And if you get a good slope where you get a good kind of breeze blowing up the hill, you can he's got a Vulcan, there's like Spitfires, Concords, all sorts of things, models of aircraft that you don't think should glide, but they're just gliding around along the hill. It's great.
Are they big?
Has he tried it with a quad?
that should be a challenge. I mean, how could we do that? I mean, you'd need to be able to have a motor that could brake but not throttle up. Is that a thing that you can do on some, can the 32-bit ESCs have that, of graduated braking without being to that actually applying power? A thing we could do.
So. I think you can apply a brake on it, but not gradual brake. It's either stop or not. What, like resistance braking?
Yeah.
You just have it spin the other way, and then you let off.
Could you do it with a heli? Because you've got auto rotation landing.
Yeah.
So if you're throwing it into wind, can you generate enough turning that it will actually go up, or is it always just going to gradually come down?
I know.
His iPad, he'd have little diagrams and animated wind vortices.
Yeah.
Cool NJ Tech, the sexiest man alive.
You know he doesn't answer the phone when
he
you call
won't
him.
answer.
Cool, the sexiest man alive.
Even if it is your birthday.
Cool, the sexiest man alive.
Jack, why are you phoning me?
Bloody phone's ringing.
Yes.
Calling Tech NJ.
Tech NJ.
Tech NJ.
Calling Tech NJ.
He is the sexiest man alive. Is that how gyrocopters work?
Gyrocopters, because they use their rotor just for lift. It's not powered.
the one above the head.
Oh, Neil, we needed you.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same, isn't it? They're pushed along with the rear motor, and then the motor above them is the lift motor, which just turns in the wind, as it were.
Turns in the wind. So you should be able to slope a gyrocopter essentially rather than a helicopter, because you'd have to have a powered tail rotor, wouldn't you? Else it's flying.
That's the idea with having it on a slope and getting sort of the updraft, is that you can just kind of nose forwards, and so you're getting the thrust by kind of going down. And then
with a gyrocopter, generally it's like it's like the collective's like tilted forward already, isn't it? So it's already going that
So
way.
you could probably make one with a drone, just not have the motors on, have the prop spinning on some kind of shaft.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then you
And-
can only
and have it
fly
quite-
one way, right?
Yeah, you'd only be able to go straight unless
That's
you
a
put
lot
some
of
kind of rudder
walking.
on it.
You could turn. You just have to gain a bit of height, come back round, and then go very
You couldn't
fast.
turn though if you didn't have it on motors. You just had literally just a shaft with a prop on spinning and then creating the lift. You know, because it's got
How's
a spin
a
in the wind.
gyrocopter turn? It's got a rudder, hasn't it?
It has a rudder, yeah, but
I think
That's
we're
not a
asking the wrong people.
It's fine. We're
the
experts.
sexiest
We'll
man
make
alive.
it fly.
We're dangerous territory of knobs at the pub who don't know what they're talking about, but
this
having
is
an
exactly
argument
how
anyway.
And then we
wanted
get
this
drunk enough and go out
podcast.
and build it, and then we strap Tony to it and push it off a hill. That's normally what happens.
I'm up for it.
If we're pushing Tony off a cliff, I want it
As
to be
long
on
as you
fire
buy
as
the
well, just to
drinks.
make sure.
Is this before or after we stick his hand in a laser cutter?
I don't know, probably before.
Are you actually going to go do that?
Yeah, if you can turn the laser down to only scars a little bit.
Maybe
I'm
easier
not-
to just get a tattoo if you're that motivated.
I was going to say.
You just draw it in crayon for now.
We can do the crayon. I
So
don't know.
Or shall I cut a
Maybe.
stencil and have some sun cream?
Yeah, and
That
some.
would work.
So what's the stuff you put on after the burn?
After sun.
That's the one.
Let's pay
after,
dimension.
after laser.
That's known as casualty.
no.
Yeah. I don't
Said
know.
burns unit.
Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. Oh my god, it's so hot in here.
Is that why you're going a bit weird?
Yeah. There's no doors open or windows or anything. My aircon's going down. I'm gonna literally, when this ends, running downstairs and put the air conditioning back on. It's very warm. It's 24 outside. It says still. It got up to 36.4 or something ridiculous in the sun today.
Curry Kitten, will you be doing LDO no?
Yes, that's the theory. I did agree to the first date, but
Do you
then
have
the
to say
date
yes or
changed.
do you have to say no?
What?
LDO no. Do you have to say yes or do you have to say no? Is it secret
Say yes to
code?
the no. I don't know. Yes, in
Yeah,
theory.
if you want to go to LDO no and
have
you
to
want to
say
be
no.
chosen, you have to write 250 words on why you don't want to go.
Yeah. Current provisional date is 21st of August, but provisional date.
That's
hold
provisional
me to
still.
it.
Stop having provisional dates. I can't do
need
things
to
on
look at my-
provisional dates.
Yeah.
What is the alternative to that?
Some other date.
Okay.
Very
Should be good. I would be aiming to go, yes.
I mean, this year is the best year to get hold of Curry Kitten because he can't book
Can't run away.
7.
He
his
can't disappear to
wife.
South Atlantic.
No, his wife can't book 7 skiing trip holidays.
Oh,
this
there is
year.
there is a chance I could be off my feet because I need another knee operation, as it turns out, after seeing the consultant tonight. So
God, what,
that's
the
a
same
possible
one?
problem.
The
Yeah.
same one? The same
Yeah.
knee? Oh my god.
The same
Can you-
one which they said the gel stuff doesn't work. It's a quack.
Yeah.
What was the date? 21st.
21st of
21st.
August.
That's such a bad choice of dates.
Okay, I'm
Why?
free.
I don't even know if I'm invited, but I'll just assume I am.
Of course.
I'm not gonna be there.
How could you
When
not
would you be there?
think you're
What date would you be
invited?
there? And I'll change the dates.
What date?
Just for
Really?
you.
Would you do that?
Yeah.
Come on, tell us what date you're going to come, and we'll make it that date.
Yep.
Only if you
Okay.
read me a bedtime story
Um,
with me
That's
and Tony.
creepy.
Like, just around the campfire.
Jack.
You're my wife.
Well, currently there's no camping, so that's not a problem.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh, and where is it, by the way? Or is it a secret?
Well, let's just say it's in England.
Okay.
Let's pin it down a bit.
Okay,
Narrow
no. That's already complicated enough. Yeah, on the 21st I'll be away. I'll be somewhere.
When will you be back?
24th, 5th, I don't know. End of August.
You don't know.
I don't know yet, yeah.
That doesn't help, Frank.
Well, before the end of August, I can figure it out.
LDO, no. The end of August, probably.
Maybe, probably
Maybe.
this year.
Maybe.
Anyway,
Right, Jack.
we've reached the hour mark.
Mm-hmm.
Frank, if you want to roll the Patreons out.
Oh, there's another button I have to click. Hold on.
That's
There it
new.
is.
Oh.
And I personally would like to thank anyone who's donated to the Facebook fundraiser. Thank you so much. That makes such a big difference. It is a charity that is, very close to my heart and butt, and literally inside me. And you guys have totally blown me away. Thank you so much. I had a little cry on the phone to Tony about it. I was truly touched. But you have been listening to the LDO podcast. It's live every Thursday at 8 till 9 p.m.
UK time.
And been listening to everyone's favourite Curry Kitten,
Goodbye.
my little darling wife.
Bonjour.
They send the best cards. Our Lord and Master, Andrew /Frank.
Bye.
He's got freaking lasers, yo. And the beautiful, talented, wonderful, and totally not free till the end of August, Blue Owl.
Bye.
If you're away and then you're back, but you have to be away again to go to LDO. No. Surely being away
Stay
and
away.
then just carrying on being away.
Could do that.
And the big old wild bear that's running around the woods up in Scotland somewhere. Whilst the UK has the Gatwick drone incident, they have the Loch Ness. I know which one I would rather go to. It's been Aries.
Till next time. See you later.
Thank you. And I have been One Pack, Bright Until I Fly. Thank you. Good night. And Lurgy, if I catch you calling me Janet again, I will fist your asshole.